Anybody watching this after the fact, or the few people that are coming in now, welcome to this live stream in my new location. When enough of you show up, I will explain why I'm here in this room instead of my usual office, which I'm sure is astounding to a lot of you and surprising and upsetting, because I know how much you guys hate sudden change. I mean, you're really messed up about it. So, but how are you? Like, how are you guys doing out there? Also, how's my audio? Is this better? Or is this better? Testing. Oh, that seems good. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. What do you think, Sesame? My cat is on my desk right now. He's right in front of me, looking out the window. It's really cute. I'll show you guys if you want. Let me just adjust the image here. I want a little more color coming through. Right now the saturation is not, it's not accurately representing my art. There you go. That looks a little more accurate. Anyways. Can you guys hear the beautiful crickets outside? Hey, what's up, Jacobo? Congrats, man. The first 50s, yeah. I've been stuck at like 2,500. Almost 2,600. I've been stuck at that for a while. I don't want to keep paying for views. I want just more people to show up. But yeah, I've been stuck. I've been there for a few months. It was like I was really growing fast at the beginning, and then it's just been... Oh yeah, you're going to start crowdfunding, doing what? Kickstarter, or... Oh, you can hear the crickets, Gigi? I wasn't sure if they were coming up on my audio. Yeah, no, that's not the ambience. That's literally the world outside of my beautiful country home. I know you guys are jealous. Contain yourselves. Contain your jealousy, all right? You can flee the city too. How are you, Gigi? I don't really understand what's going on here. Wait, I forgot how to unlock layers in Procreate. I use this every day. Oh, you go like this, right? Yeah. There you go. Sorry, a little bit of a brain fart. Okay. So, it's hot and sunny in the urban jungle. Hell yeah. You might be wondering, guys, why I'm in a different location. Oh, Zoop is good, Jacobo. Yeah, I keep hearing people love Zoop. So let me know how that goes, actually. I would love to learn about it through somebody that I trust to give me an honest, bit of feedback on it. You absolutely should go hiking, Gigi. It's great. Hiking's the best. You guys want to see my cat? You want to see him? Oh, no, he's leaving. So, I am... Hell yeah, now the cat's sleeping on the desk. I'm going to show you in a second. But so I am, Zoop. Okay, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting myself. I know that's annoying. To answer the question, Zoop is, it's like an app kind of like Kickstarter, but I think it's specifically for comics. Essentially, so the reason I'm in this is my guest room. The guest bed is behind me. You can see a little bit of it. I am here because the sinus infections that I kept getting, I was wondering why, I've been talking to you guys about it. I got it, sinus infection, searing, debilitating headaches. Never had that before. Treated it with antibiotics and got it again like a month and a half later, maybe even less than that. Was wondering what the hell is going on. And then I just came back to my office one day and it was like sitting down to work and the word mold popped into my head, just like someone put it in there. Literally, like, I don't know how, but someone was like, check for mold. It was just like, I don't know where the thought came from because I never think about mold. It's not something that was even in my periphery. It just dropped in. And it was like, it was crazy. It was like kind of a weird experience because it was like someone's watching out for me. Someone was like, mold, check for mold. So I look at the air conditioner and I'm like, this air conditioner has smelled kind of bad. And I was like, it's like it kind of has a BO smell. And I look up, because I've never experienced mold, I look up the smells of mold. It's exactly what I was experiencing. I look up the symptoms of mold. It's exactly what I was experiencing. Multiple sinus infections, the terrible headaches, insomnia. So I take out the AC, I air out the office. It improves immensely. The moldy smell is still kind of there, but and then I tell my landlord, she drops off a mold test. I put the mold test in the room. I do the test with a little petri dish. It absorbs the air. You cover it afterwards, leave it for 2 days and see if mold grows. And guess what? A ton of mold in the petri dish. That office, specifically the office where I was it was festering with mold for months. And I was breathing it in because I draw like literally 13 hours a day sometimes. If my wife's not around, I'll just draw all day, take a break to go work out, eat food, maybe play a game for a bit, feed the cat, hang out with the cat. I'm drawing all day in that office. And I basically was poisoning myself with mold for months. And that's why I got the sinus infections. So we're going to get it treated, thankfully. It seems to be only in one corner of the house from what I can tell. I got the mold test to check the rest of the house. And the only reason I think it had happened in that corner of the house because I suspect either some really bad rainstorms or because of the way I was using the air conditioner. Because they say an air conditioner used in a tight space in a small room can actually cause mold for a number of reasons. The way that it stores up moisture and heat. So I actually might have caused that. But now I know why. And you know what's funny? I stopped working in that office. I moved to this beautiful guest room with panoramic windows in front of me. So I'm looking out at nature all around me while I'm drawing. It's like absolutely ideal. And the sinus infection, the sinus pressure has just gone away. It's just gone. I'm not getting headaches anymore. I'm fine. I have a little bit of allergies because it's ragweed season, but it was really because it's because I was breathing in mold for months. And it really did feel like God was he put the word mold in my head because I don't know where the thought came from. I'm not that smart, especially with that stuff. I just don't think about things like that very much. So be careful with that, guys. What's up, Broken Blade? How you doing? I got BBGB, BBGG, JE. I was hoping JE would rhyme with the others, but how are you guys doing tonight? I'm going to be working on something a little different. I have had this project that some of you know about that's been on the back burner because I wanted to get through Black Marrow 2 and I wanted to get through the King Arthur book before I started any real work on this, but I have this image in my head and there's this retro 1950s superhero comic I wanted to do, and it's been kind of in the back of my head for a long time, and it keeps popping up, and I was like, every now and then I gotta feed that monster. to just do some images for it, you know. So I figured tonight I might work on that a little bit, because I'm feeling that need for that comfort. So this was a design I was working on the other day for that character. One of the characters, the cardinal. And I already colored a lot of this, but yeah, so I could just complete this. Oh, you guys, my cat is back at the end of the desk. I want you to see him. Oh, and the minute I say it, he's jumping. He's literally in front of me right now. What do you hunt? Oh, he's hunting a squirrel. Get off the desk. Ah, you're pushing buttons on the desk. He's like, oh, he's sitting on my keyboard watching this squirrel in the distance. Psst, psst, psst. Get off. Sorry, guys. I gotta deal with this. Psst, psst. Okay, relax, relax. You want to sit on me? Okay, you can sit on me. So, a possible disadvantage of working in this room is that this is really the cat's room, the guest room. It's a big room with big panoramic, beautiful windows where he can see squirrels and birds. And sometimes, you know, a guy's got to jump up and look at a squirrel and freak out and stare at it like it's his mortal enemy, which is what he's doing right now. Yeah, jump, go. Okay. Get up there. That's a good spot for you. Every time I pick up the cat, every time I gotta take off the drawing glove, because otherwise I get cat hair all over and it does not come out no matter how much I wash it. So I'm gonna just kind of lazily work on this while I think about what I want to do for that image. I haven't even started yet, but I want to do like I had this image for the cover of the book, or at least a bit of promotional art that would be like a like one of those big epic cinematic film group shots with all the characters. And see how dark it's getting? My goodness. Guys, I gotta talk to you a little bit about how much I love Procreate. So, you know, when I was working with other tablets and my desktop, everybody uses short keys. I never use short keys because I just never got into the swing of doing it. And with Procreate, its designs obviously don't need short keys, and I really love that because I don't want to use them. It's nice. It's like you can just kind of hold down a thing and it, does. It's so intuitive. It's just like if you just hold the eraser, if you hold that with the pen, it automatically will switch to use whatever, to use an eraser version of whatever pen or brush you're using. And if you do the same thing with your pen or brush, it automatically switches to use whatever brush the eraser is using, so that you can just get them on the same wavelength and paint images in and out, creating negative space and all that. So I want to figure out my setup for the office so that the camera would be on this side, since I'm going to be in here for a bit until they figure out that other room. Because if the camera's on this side, instead of seeing that back room, and that's my living room in the background, instead of seeing that, you would see the nature and trees outside in the sunset, which is beautiful right now. I just don't know how I would set that up, really. The reason I'm doing some of this right now is because this was originally going to be a painting. I was trying out these new brushes I got. And then, as always, I just was like, oh man, I just like working with lines so much. So, none of my clients seem to mind. Every now and then someone will request, they'll see one of my paintings and they'll be like, let's do that. And I'll be like, well, that costs more because it takes a lot more time. And they're like, okay. Either okay or never mind. I wish I could show you guys some of the paintings I've been doing for certain clients. I can't. It's all like not released until mid 2026. So it's all NDA'd. It's so annoying. That's like my least favorite part of, I mean, whatever. It's nice to have gigs. I shouldn't complain. But you know what, guys? Hold on. I'm going to turn on some lights around here. It's very dark. I think I turned off the wrong camera. Whatever. It's fine. Was it exciting to see me walk around in my underwear for a second? Let's see. Broken Blade says, yeah, same. I could never get used to CSP or PS shortcuts. Yeah, Photoshop or Clip Studio. Yeah, I don't really enjoy using it. And people were like, this is so much more efficient. It's like, I don't know, is it? I mean, it probably is. I'm doubting something I've never tried. I just don't like using it. It's like learning it would slow me down at this point because I'm working as fast as I can. So. It can be CPS can be set up without shortcuts. What do you mean? I mean, I use it without shortcuts when I use it. So, but I'm curious what you're referring to. Gigi says, I will use some because I like using both hands when I work if I can, but most of the things I need are immediate reach, especially since the quick access window is customizable. Oh, sure. Yeah, please post it in Discord. So a question I get asked sometimes from people, and those of you who do this for a living, I'm wondering if you deal with the same questions. A question I get asked is like, how do you decide what style to go with, you know, to like market yourself? Like people have a hard time, they have a hard time picking, you know, like what's the way I want to be known, what's, you know, and the answer is you don't, and I still don't know. Like right now I'm drawing this in a particular style, but you know, this is like not so different than the way I typically draw. It's a little more relaxed with the line work, and it's more focused on like, you know, blocking the shadow instead of putting lines all over everything until you want to puke. But generally this is kind of the same. But I was like, man, maybe this is a book I should draw in a totally different way. I should do like really few lines and do it more like as a more of a cartoony, you know, like something more along the lines of like Bruce Timm, you know. Thing is, I don't know if that style comes as naturally to me, so it's possible that after a little while it would get like, it would be hard to maintain because I'm like, well, I like doing it a certain, you know. So the question for anyone, because I know somebody asked me, not on the Discord, they might have been on Instagram, and I think that they said they watch my streams. I didn't get a chance to respond, so I'm going to just ask, I'm going to respond here, and hopefully you'll see it. Is that really the style you go with is the one that's most comfortable, the one that you feel like you have the most control over the image, basically, you know? Like if you just feel like when I draw this way, I get to really determine, you know, what it looks like, and it's closer to how I imagined it, you know? You don't want a style that fights you, where you have to keep reminding yourself to draw a certain way, because that will piss you off fast, trust me. Trust me. And BB, I did see the image that you shared on Discord. I actually responded. Maybe the response didn't go through, maybe you just haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I responded to the image you sent because it was like exactly what I was hoping you were going to do, as far as just like a really clean version of that image. Oh, sorry guys, there's a motorcyclist. Yeah, no, I thought it was great, man. I want to ask you, BB, what did you think of it? Ugh. Ruins my freaking day when a guy on a motorcycle goes past my house. Just... I mean, it may not be worth going to look at it, BB, because I think I just like exclaimed. I was like, oh, wow, hell yeah, you know? But it was genuine. I was like, it was exactly what I was, like I said, it was exactly what I was hoping you would get out of doing it that way. It's like, it just looks so good. It looks so clean, you know? And you should share with the others. You should share the comparison with the other people in the Discord, and then try to, you don't have to give them our entire phone conversation you and I had, but definitely share like the, you know, the content of the call, so that people can see the changes that you made. But sorry, I don't mean to yawn, but the improvement is like, it's freaking immeasurable. It felt right. Yeah, it looks right. It looks like that's like, if you produce work like that steadily, like that's really good. That's like, it was like a huge leap as far as I was concerned. Gigi's about to say something crazy. I'm peeking ahead at that. One time I had the worst impulse filterless moment. A car came down my road with the loudest engine while I was watering my plants. That guy has a huge... Yeah. And when you said that, Gigi, we all know you were being 100% genuine. Like that was your authentic reaction, right? That was you being like... You were like, man, I'm willing, ready, and able to throw it all away for this man. Based purely on the sheer volume. I mean, I'm sure your neighbors thought that was freaking hysterical, actually. So, I would not worry. Unless you're, I mean, this is California, right? I just assume everybody's constantly yelling about their genitals. I just assume that's like every conversation that everyone is having is just like ironically assessing the size of their man or womanhoods. Although I don't think women brag about having really big vajayjays. I don't think that's on the list, but. Yeah, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because a part of me was like feeling like I wanted to take a quick break from the things I was working on, like Black Marrow, so I could maybe come back to it with fresh eyes in a day or two. When it's because like I'm starting this action sequence, which I've been building up to for months and months and months of art, right? And drawing, I'm on page 43 now, where this big fight scene's starting, and it's like I've been building up to it for so long that I want to make sure I'm fresh. So it's like sometimes it's good to step out away and step into a different genre, for a bit, and then come back to it, But this is the best time to be working on Black Marrow because there's Halloween stuff happening everywhere. It's like all that pumpkin. Dan, my friend Dan Warren, who you guys know, he sent me a really funny meme, and it looked like something out of like a disaster movie with a tidal wave coming into the world, and it just said it was labeled like the planet just said like October, and then said September rather, and then the tidal wave was just labeled pumpkin spice. It was just like it's like, yeah, that's. Everybody knows the funniest way to experience a meme is to have someone explain it to you with staggeringly lazy English. Everybody, that's exactly what you came here for. You were like, Ryan, I don't want to look at memes. I don't want to experience them in some banal, appropriate format. I would rather have a man in his underwear sit there and talk about what the meme looks like and not show it to me. I know these are the conversations that are being had across media. I know it because I'm in the loop. Okay, so this may be the design I want to go with for the Cardinal. There's definitely been some rounds that I've made, some changes here and there, and I feel like I've been messing with this design for a while, but I do. It's true, Gigi. Oh man, I lowered my desk too much. That's why this feels so off to me today. There you go. It's true. I have the drip and the Riz. I forget what Riz is. I actually don't really know that much about what Drizzt is. Is Drizzt your clothing or something? You guys can see the cat behind me on the bed. He's on the other side. See him? That is the cat, right? I can't really tell through the mirror. Yeah, he's sleeping. Look at the cat. Look at him sleeping. Wait, it's this way. Oh, I'm doing a bad job. It's actually really hard to... It's not easy, but you can see the cat right there. His little face. I like having my office here. It's fun because I now get to just like experience how incredibly lazy and worthless my cat is. That he just sits around all day and eats our food. He doesn't pay a lick of rent. The only thing he contributes is that he's very cute and he makes my wife very happy, which I guess is enough. Right, Riz is charisma. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I remember this now. I remember. I hear you. I hear the kids mocking me, laughing. I hear all the young people guffawing in their TikTok booths, which I imagine is like a telephone booth just surrounded by like little knives that poke you if you make any mistakes socially. They're mocking me for not knowing what the Riz is. But guys, me not knowing what Riz is, doesn't that contribute to my Riz? I mean, isn't it like it's paradoxical, but true, right? Like wanting to be someone who possesses the Riz is so un-Rizzy. Oh, you like the plant? I'm glad. It is a bigger room. I never needed a big room to work, BB. I just kind of sit there on my fat ass and draw. I'm a large man, but I don't move much when I'm drawing. I just kind of sit and make images. And another motorcycle? No, that was a car. That was a sports car. This is how I know I'm getting old. When I see that car and how fast it went and I heard that noise, that is a sports car doing like 50 miles an hour on this little residential side road with a lot of families living here. And I am going to be going to a town hall meeting to complain about it. And I'm going to start a petition to put up like either a stop sign or a sign to lower your speed to 25 or speed bumps. I am going for it. I'm going to just be like, you got to do something. People come ripping down my street because it's a thoroughfare. My street connects the main road to this other road. And people just... I'm backing out of my driveway, which is already tough because I live in a mountain area. So I'm backing out of the driveway. It's like going uphill. And as I'm doing it, it's like I have to be careful because some jackass some kid, you know, who just got his first car is peeling through there like he's on the run from the law. And then they beep at me. Oh, that gives me such like 40-year-old man rage. I'm not 40 yet, but I feel the rage coming. Okay, let me try to compose this image for the people watching. Speed bumps. Hell yeah, BB. BB understands. He understands. You know, I should get a third camera for my desk to point at the corner where my cat sleeps. I do hate noise pollution as well, Gigi. That's actually why I left the city, which is like, right now, this is the noisiest night I've had in this neighborhood so far this year. I'm wondering if it has something to do with what's going on. Maybe at the time of year, people are doing more crap before it gets too cold. I don't know. That's right, BB. They'll slow down or damage the car. You let them wreck themselves. Better check themselves first. Yeah, your cat climbed up on you. Now you can't draw. Yeah, that's it. The cat just cancels whatever you're going to do. They're kind of in charge. We brought him into the house so he could be our manager. Okay. Guys, I literally think it's just a motorcycle going up and down my street. I swear. I just realized this should be a wraparound cover. Hold on while I adjust my setup here. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to actually change to a widescreen. Sorry. We're back. That's really funny, Gigi. I could be a male Karen. I mean, I don't want to interrupt anybody's good time, but like it seems like it, I mean, maybe it's more than one person, but it does seem like it's the same D-bag just driving a motorcycle up and down right outside my house. Like, what is wrong with you, bro? What's your game, sir? Okay, so yeah, this is going to be a wrapper. I'm going to do this as like a big-ass image. For those of you who don't know, that's actually the technical term artists use, is for big-ass image. That's how we talk about it in artist circles. We don't tell amateur artists about it, though, so if you're not professional, you don't get to use that term. Artists are like Freemasons, but instead of lots of money and prestige, we have receding hairlines from years of financial stress. It's a very exclusive club where we use strange terminology. Now, as I'm working on this, oh my god, there's more of them coming. There's some kind of a motorcycle parade happening. Unless this guy is just riding the same thing. Can you guys hear it? It's just me. If you guys can't hear it, I'll stop complaining about the motorcycle because I know that that's annoying. But if you can hear it, can we commiserate? Should I tell him I'm doing a stream? Do you think he would stop? I don't like her head turned this way. She should be facing us. Right? Or upward. And I think she should be really prominent in the image. Maybe higher up too. Start with her there. Let's see. Okay. I know watching me sketch just like these figures is not really the most interesting part of an image to be working on during a stream, but you agreed. You agreed to be here. You knew what you were getting into. So I'm trying to communicate a kind of Art Deco look and feel with this. As far as the composition, even though it's going to be like an arrangement of figures, I want to reference something Art Deco. I want it to feel like old school Art Deco images, you know? I wasn't planning on talking about the events of this week simply because I thought maybe people needed a break, but of this past week. But yeah, I was pretty disgusted. Pretty disgusted with the violence, and then with the fallout of it. Seeing people celebrating it was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. So, and it's been on my mind. That's all I'll really say about it, was just yeah, this was horrifying. I like opened my phone and the first thing I saw was just live footage of the blam, the moment that it happened in front of his family. It's so horrible, so horrifying. Pray for that man's family. And it was crazy because there's artists that I follow who were among those like cheering and joking about it. And it's just like, and then like it was so insane. It's so, I don't know how anybody can sit there after that type of event and celebrate it and not think maybe you're the bad guy. I just can't. I don't usually get into politics, and I'm really not, because I'm not talking about his particular beliefs or the policies he advocated for, but yeah, it was just pretty disgusting. And it's also, I can't seem to get this guy's hand right. That's another thing that's bothering me. I don't want to give up on him, on his hand being in the image. But I might have to. Or I might have to actually go through the work of sketching out his limbs and putting them in an appropriate place. Yeah, Jacobo, that's what I'm referencing. It's the only, unless there was something, there was also a shooting, there was a school shoot. It's just like, yeah, they will hang with you for years. And I actually didn't even, it just popped up and it was like footage of this thing happening. And I was like, oh my God, really? And then I clicked on it before thinking, do I really want to see this? Like, it's an impulse. It was like, oh, the news, something crazy. I got it, and, it's haunting. Was it a rally? Oh, I see. I'm missing some comments here. Oh my God, a caravan of motorcyclists sounds like a living hell. Anyone who watching this who has a motorcycle, it's not personal. I get your enjoyment of it. I understand that it's probably really thrilling. Hold on. Just want to make sure my wife is okay. It's fun after you're married, you get to say my wife all the time. I get to just say it casually. Try not to directly rip off the shadow with this character, but it's almost impossible. Okay. Spent a lot of time on that one sketch. It's exactly what I wasn't supposed to do. I was supposed to move around the page and sketch the whole thing out. Hey, what's up, guy? How you doing, man? Yeah, I know, Jacobo. It was terrible because apparently his kids were there, and his supposedly his daughter was scared at the sound of the gunshots, and instinctively she ran to her father because she was scared of hearing the gunshots. So she ran up to him right after he had been shot. So his little daughter was probably the first person to see him right when he died, like right at that moment. It's absolutely horrendous. And it was his daughter. You know, she's like a little girl, like a little, like I don't mean a teenager. I mean like a small child. So when I heard about that, I don't even have a kid yet, but the fact that I'm even like, you know, moving toward hopefully fatherhood as soon as we can, like that's. And I think about kids a lot now because of the fact that I want to be a parent now. It's like, yeah, so then, anyways, I don't mean to bring the mood down, but I know that I just needed to acknowledge it. Because it's been on my mind, and I don't want to be one of those people, you know, like I always say, like I don't get into politics and stuff like that because I want people to see my work and my space, like my corner of the internet or whatever you want to call it, as a kind of a break, you know, like you kind of get like a little bit of a break from that stuff, but like I also don't want to be someone who's like a little chicken shit sleaze ass who's like, oh, I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to make anybody angry. It's like I don't care. Like it was horrible. It was a horrible thing. I wish that it hadn't happened. And people who are celebrating it I don't care what your politics are, but if you're celebrating that kind of stuff, you're fucking vile. Like it really enraged me seeing people I know or tacitly kind of know through this job, because artists, we tend to be, you know, very passionate about our beliefs, I guess, but a lot of artists were like, not a lot, but a few of them were basically talking like, so crazy. How do you think history's going to judge you for what you're saying right now? Like, you think they're going to be okay with you doing that? Yeah, it is. It is still that. It's still murder. But all right, we addressed it. I needed to address it for my own sake, and you know, rest his soul. And you know, I'm hoping that it leads us into a lowering of the temperature, where people realize we're kind of losing our minds, and then maybe they move away from it. It's also possible that it's going to be totally the worst, and it's going to actually skyrocket everyone into crazy, more radical beliefs on both sides, which I think is possibly the thing that's going to happen. It's possibly the latter. I'm praying for the former. You know, you would think it'd be a wake-up call for some people, but some people are like, yeah, well, that's, you know, I'm just like, oh, no, you want a civil war? Yeah, so let's hope for better days. So this guy, this constable character, maybe I should give him an actual no, that looks silly. That doesn't, no, that's not Art Deco, Ryan. That's not, it doesn't have the retro look you're going for. It's turning into dark fantasy. I could feel that I almost did it, but I didn't. I didn't go the dark fantasy route. It's very easy for me to do that. This is more of a challenge, doing something that's like retro. Yeah, filmed. That meme where you pick up a glass of water, I haven't seen that meme. It turns into alcohol. That's funny though. I get that. Although what you're saying kind of applies to both the drawing and how I keep going back toward what I'm comfortable with, or possibly the news and the media. Oh yeah, you say you went for the deco and ended up... Yeah, I know. That's just... it's just what happens when you spend so much time in a particular genre. I mean, between the King Arthur thing and Black Marrow, it's like so much time doing like gritty monsters and armor and weapons and stuff, and it's like that's why one of the reasons I was really excited about this project, because it was like, oh, this would be like a nice change for me, because it's going to be like lots of technology, but it's going to be like super sleek Art Deco futurism, so everything is going to be like really minimalist design and big bold shapes, you know. Hey, what's up, Nim? You just showing up now? How you doing? Something I'm very conscious of is making sure that my designs for these characters are not just like, you know, alternate versions of existing characters, but that's kind of what's happening. And I don't really mind it, I just don't want to be judged for it. Like I recognize that it's natural to have like archetypes that kind of resemble Superman, Batman, and you know, that whole ilk. I'm trying to make it a little more than that. And so some of that's going to be just me adding my own design flair, which is to create some somewhat indulgent flourishes, you know. Long day, eh? naturally, I think he would look better from the side because of the design that I gave him, the cardinal. I gotta fix my posture. Let me reference. Okay. The cowl has a very particular shape. Yeah. You must have been pretty tired because I know you sleep all kinds of irregular hours. Oops. Yeah, you see, it's good. This is good I'm doing this because I needed to loosen up. I was a little too stiff, too precious. Putting on some game soundtracks. That's what I'm doing. Oh no, the crickets is those are just actual crickets right outside my window. They are actual crickets, yeah. No, Nim. Sorry. Is it really distracting? Oh, thanks, BB. Yeah, it took a while to get that cowl just kind of where I wanted it because he's an interesting problem. I wanted something that would kind of reference the Batman archetype, but I don't want it to just be like, this is my version of this character. Don't sue me. It's like, I don't want that. That's a good recommendation. Brave Fencer Musashi. I never played it. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna pause this for a second. I thought my wife was home, but it's just my cat making noise. So this character in the background is he has a jetpack. That's how he flies, and it's interesting designing it like right on the page and being like, how do I show that in his posture? It's a little different than this guy in the foreground. Excuse me. Gigi says, tell us about the lady you're drawing. Well, this is a character I've drawn before, but you guys probably haven't seen her most recent design. I made some changes to make her costume a little more classically beautiful, a little less clunky. Her name is Blue Jay. That's her, like, superhero name. And her dad is the Cardinal. The whole idea is that they're like a family of superheroes that are very like old school golden age, and they're all kind of modeled after birds, you know, like that's corresponding with their powers kind of. So you have, you know, the Blue Jay is the youngest daughter. The oldest daughter is Starling, and she's more like black in her costume and like a little more mysterious, and her eyes are dark, and she has like kind of mystical type powers. And the starling, if you've ever seen those birds, they're like dark, but they have a purplish hue. They're like really beautiful. And then you have the dad, who's the Cardinal, and then the mom was once one of them, and then after the kids grew up, she's like, I don't really want to do this anymore. She kind of retired, you know. So, but, you know, there's going to be this whole part of the story which obviously she has to come out of retirement to help the rest of the family out. But I was debating doing that or doing something where the two daughters inherited the dad's powers, but that the mom doesn't have any. Because the whole idea that this is like a futuristic American utopia where like a certain chunk of the population are just born with powers and nobody knows why. So there's this big kind of futuristic empire made up of Western civilizations, powerful countries, and they're all kind of united, almost like not quite one world government, like they're individual and sovereign, but they're all united in a big epic war against an enemy that I will not spoil here, but and I was going to be like, oh, and I was also thinking Japan would be a part of the, you know, what's in the story. There's like a thing called the Allied Legion. So, you know, the Allies from World War II. These guys are called the Allied Legion. So it's like, you know, it's just like a larger collection of the same groups, essentially, you know, but Japan is not on our side because, you know, Japan and America have been friends for a while. And this was a story that's been living in my head for a while, and it's like sometimes it's like good to take a break from whatever your current project is and I just need to get this out of my head. Like I need to do this illustration. I also want to post it. A big part of it is that I want to post it on social media, and I want to see how people respond to it. I want to see if it's like something people like, because I can usually tell where I'm at with my audience on, you know, on Instagram. That's where I have most of my attention, and it seems like I can gauge how well something's going to do based on how much that audience responds to it, because I think a lot of my Kickstarter backers come from there. And so Black Marrow does really well because that's the thing people are known for. People know me for. So like when I post it, it does well. The Knights of Camelot stuff, when I post that, does even better. So I'm really excited for that to be released because I think it's going to be like possibly a bigger hit. Although Black Marrow 2 might surprise me, because it seems like a lot of people have gained interest since Black Marrow 1 came out. I think that was my first Kickstarter. So then people realized, like, okay, he actually delivered on the book. It's actually pretty good. You know, because so many Kickstarters are just a heartbreaking situation where you get it and you're like, this is not what I paid for. But the fact that, you know, it's really nice getting feedback from people in my comments being like, because I know some of you might have seen it, but if you follow me at all, but I posted something on my... I posted something on my social media that was like, I lost my train of thought. Where I said Halloween's around the corner, and I'm tempted to do the campaign for Black Marrow on Halloween because that's like a big, you know. But I also always really wanted to do I wanted all my Kickstarter campaigns to be for comics that were already done, so people would always feel like they could trust me, you know, like the customer's trust is like the most important thing, and when you lose that, you're done. So if I always keep to that word, the book is done when I do the campaign. So once the campaign's over, you're waiting like 2 months for the book, and that's it, instead of like years as it is for a lot of other projects. People loved that. That was such a big thing because the immediate turnaround of feedback was huge because people were like, "Oh my God, it's here! It's here! It's only been like 6 weeks." And then they got it, and they were like, so when I posted on Instagram and I said, would you guys care if I didn't do it on Halloween? And a bunch of people were like, bro, just take your time, because they were like, people were saying, I loved book one. I loved it. I was so surprised by it. I was so satisfied by it. So please take your time and I'll keep supporting you. So I at this point, my wife and I were discussing it because she's like, this is now becoming an actual viable financial thing, is to do Kickstarter campaigns for my own comics, which is incredible to me. And she was like, initially she was like, you should do Halloween. You should do it on Halloween, even if it's not done, because people will trust you. And Halloween, people are going to want something like that. And I was like, even if I do the campaign on Halloween, the book's not coming till January because I'm not going to be done, But then the idea was like, well, when you get the money, I can stop doing freelance gigs and focus entirely on Black Mirror, and it would be done in like a month if that happened. Maybe not a month, but 2 months. But I still was like, I don't know. I don't want to do it because I don't want to put myself in that situation. And the people, the fans of the book, supported that idea that I should just keep doing it the way I've been doing it. And so a short one-off for Halloween? How do you mean? Like a mini comic preview or something? Because all I really have is, as far as like something ready, is like the first 10 pages. But then I feel like I would be charging people for the same book twice, I don't know. I might do something for Halloween, like maybe like a little cheap $2 or $3 digital download of the first 10 pages. Maybe the first, yeah. That could, if that's what you mean, that could be a great idea. That's a good idea. Thing is, that's something that, like, you're really good at, Gigi. Like a little 3-page thing, you could make that sing. You work really well with a short story format. Like, you're very good at that. And I'm not sure that I would get like the same perfect little short story. People don't realize that is a very particular talent, to be able to do like a little 3-page thing and have it be like just pitch perfect. And Gigi does like literally 3-panel comics as a joke. She just like knocks them out and they're perfect and they're funny. So I'm going to post, this was my original design for the Blue Jay. That was how she originally looked. I was going now for a costume that's a little more, she's almost like a teenage girl Captain America. And I still kind of like this design. I'm looking at it now. I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty great. But then I was like, maybe I should go for something a little more form-fitting, so she like looks more like a ballerina, Like the beauty of her body would be a bigger factor in the design. But honestly, the way I drew her here, I kind of gave her like a little bit of a thick... this is like a very old painting. This was 3 years ago. I'm like looking at this and it's like making me cringe a little bit because some of the quality of the painting, I'm like, oh, I'm much better now. But putting that aside... I was thinking of changing it to something more form-fitting with more in line with her father and her sister's outfits. But it makes sense that she wouldn't have a cape because she's like not. She doesn't fly. I mean, she's called Blue Jay, but the whole idea is that she's a pilot. She can like, hop in a jet. The whole idea is she has like enhanced reflexes and agility. So she's like a really skilled, marksman and pilot. So she jumps in a plane and she can just, nail it. Eric, that's really funny. How would you sell or distribute that on what, Shopify? I don't like this. I need to change this. By the way, anybody watching during the stream or afterwards, please give the video a like. It helps a lot. So please do me the favor. Even if you hate the video, just like it, all right? having some trouble with this format. You know, I'm going to look at some old Star Wars movie posters for a second to see if something jumps out at me. Or I'm going to look at... I always forget the name of the famous artist who paints these. Ah, his framing device is really cool. Drew Struzan. I don't know why I was blanking on his name. Man, what an incredible artist. I should get his book. I bet he's got a really great art book. Because I was kind of thinking of Drew Struzan when I started on this. It's crazy how much he'll pack into one poster. That's what I gotta do. I gotta do that. I gotta figure out how he's creating these, like, his compositions, the fact that he can do so much in there and not have it be cluttered at all. That's what he's doing. You see, okay, I'm onto something. He's incorporating his backgrounds as foregrounds. He's creating oh man, I'm having a big epiphany about this guy, about why these images are so good. See, he's giving you the background, but he's putting it in the foreground smaller than the character. He's telling you this is the character, this is the world in which they inhabit, and then he's moving to a different character, and he's showing you aspects of their face and their body, and then he's putting it again in a slightly different ecosystem that sometimes overlaps with the others. God, he's so good, dude. He's also, like, not as old as I thought he'd be, which makes me happy because it means hopefully he's still working. So over here, what I really should be doing is showing the farmland where this character's from, maybe. He's got Alzheimer's? Oh, wow. He looks much younger in the pictures I'm seeing. Oh, he's got Alzheimer's. And so, okay. Oh, so a lot of you guys know Drew Struzan, because it seems like a lot of you know who I'm talking about. God, it's so hard to escape the endless bummers of the world. This has been an absolutely fucking, pardon my French, but it has been a totally horrendous week. It's been just... It's been awful for you too, Broken Blade, or you just mean in the world right now? Like you personally, or... So I gotta look at these again, because it's something about his formatting is just so good, and I need to understand it. What does he say in Nacho Libre? We must learn their ways. What is this? Oh my God! His poster for Blade Runner. Are you kidding me? His poster for Masters of the Universe. It's so awesome. It's so good. How dare he be this good? Bro, there's so many capes in this in this comic. I've put so many capes in it. I'm not sorry about all the capes in this comic. You will hear no apologies from me about how many characters are wearing capes. But you will hear me exclaim about it. Listen, alright, I know this sketch kind of looks like crap, but I promise that this whole cover won't always look this messy and hard to discern. Oh, dude, yeah. Eric's recommending Noriyoshi Orai. I know that name. Sorry, I hope I didn't blow out your mics, guys, your earmuffs. I'm gonna. I can't finish this tonight, obviously. I'm just getting to the end of the loose sketch phase, but I want to do this whole, this whole poster wraparound cover. But I need to make sure I'm doing the correct format because I'm using a double page spread. But I'm fairly certain when you're doing a wraparound cover that's going to be the outside of a comic, you actually need to use a different format because it's a little different. Because there's added length because it's going around the book. In which case I'm going to need to download that and drop this image onto that and maybe make some slight adjustments. Hey, what's up, Johnny? It's not Star Wars or Indiana Jones. It is the Medal of Honor soundtrack, which is a game I used to play when I was a kid. And I love Medal of Honor. It's a World War II adventure game. And the soundtrack is modeled after John Williams. Because they wanted to sound like, Indiana Jones and like have a kind of classic 70s, 80s Spielberg Lucas feel to it, which is what you're hearing and why you're thinking of Indiana Jones, because it's just terrific. If I had put on anything like Indiana Jones or Star Wars or anything like that, the soundtrack would have had copyright strike immediately. Yeah, Frontline is great. I never played Rising Sun, but I really want to. Frontline is great, and there's two that I played. They were the two big ones. It was like the original Medal of Honor and the Medal of Honor Frontline, I think. I believe that's what I did. I believe Michael Giacchino does most of the soundtracks for these games, but I don't know if he does all of them. This one sounds like Allied Assault, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Johnny. Sometimes I have to remind myself that when I'm drawing women versus men, well, for both of them, really, the truth is the change, the difference between them starts in the immediate framing of the body and the face. PS2 games feel like a ghost world. I'm interested in what you mean by that. I think I know what you mean. Like the look of the game feels always a little off because it's this very clear, like non-reality. So this is actually not this character's hair. This is Starling. So she's the third one in the trifecta of the birds. I was thinking it would be like these big black feathers coming out of the back of her cowl. I thought that'd be kind of a really cool look. And her sister, Blue Jay, is like bright and colorful, and she's like a short like gymnast, so she's kind of small and like muscular. And then her sister, Starling, would be like a ballerina, where she's very tall and lithe, and they have different powers and, you know, and very different personalities. I thought it'd be really funny if Starling is kind of a goth girl. Whatever the 1950s equivalent of that would be, I kind of imagine like a gothy, like monochromatic, you know, lots of like striped outfits. All right, this is looking pretty good. A 50s goth would be a beatnik. I need to look that up. Is that like, because I was thinking, I have a design for her, and it's, oh, this is totally going to get me copyright struck. I'm glad I stopped that before it got any worse. Yeah, okay, you're going to laugh at this, but the design I have for her looks like this. Yeah, thank you for giving me that, Jacob. I didn't realize that was the word for what I was going for. This is literally exactly here, I'll even show you the sketch. It's so funny. I don't know why Dropbox is not letting me open this, but I have a sketch for her, and it looks like this. It's like the striped, black and white striped look. Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted for her outfit. Man, I really think that like 1950s and early 60s is like the best fashion. It just looks great. And now these pictures of Audrey Hepburn are coming up. My goodness, Audrey Hepburn, so incredibly beautiful, like shockingly beautiful woman. Like how... You know, Adam Hughes modeled his design for Catwoman off of her face. because it's just Audrey Hepburn is just so. There's something so magnetic about her. Yeah, I don't remember what she looked like in her old age. I have to look this up. I'm going to let my Apple Pen charge for a second because it was pretty low for a second there. Oh yeah, you're right. She looks great as she got older. I kept saying to myself that I would draw until my wife gets home, but she's still. I hope she's probably still with her friends. Drawing till my wife gets home. The Ryan Gutierrez story. Yeah. That's it. That's the Hallmark movie. All right. I'm going to call it quits there, guys. Anybody watching, please like the video. I think I'm going to... Lone Wolf wants to know what my wife is doing. She was going to a friend's place to... a friend of ours down the street, old friend of ours, has a dishwasher and we don't. So my wife dropped a bunch of... We went camping a few weeks ago and she had dropped a bunch of stuff over at her friend's place to use the dishwasher. But she's like, I'm not going to make my friend do the dishes. I just want to use the dishwasher. So it's just been sitting in her car. She's like, I'm going to bring it down and bring it into the house and actually do it. And once they're together, her and her friend, they've known each other a long time. And I like her too. She's a sweetheart. But every time they're together, they just like lose track of time and end up talking, dishing for hours. She's always like, yeah, I'll try not to be there too long. I know we wanted to hang out tonight. And then it's just like... You live with me, you see me every day. But you also see her almost every day. She's like right over there. But every time Malka goes to hang out with her, it's like... And then I'll come and check on them and be like, are you all right? Like, you haven't answered your phone. And I'll hear them just talking about some person I don't even know who's dating some other person. And they just don't get tired of dishing about stuff like that. So... I mean, I get it. She doesn't get that for me. I'm not a gossip hound. I get bored with that stuff, so... You gotta get that kind of conversation somewhere. I mean, I have my equivalent with my friends. It's like I could talk about Star Wars and Superman for like hours. And after the first 10 minutes of it, I can look over at Malka and see the life slowly leaving her eyes, like a Dementor's kiss. Sorry, I'm laughing at my own joke. But when I start talking about like weird history, I'm like, have you heard about the Siege of Malta? And I can just see, oh, she's calling me now. All right, guys. Good night. Thanks for being here. Love you.